Yo, what is going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be giving my official picks for all of the awards in the NFL season. I'm going to be predicting every single one. So sit back, relax, let's get right into it. I actually have two picks for each. One's going to be my pick for the award, and my other selection is going to be the dark horse, the guy that isn't really getting talked about a lot in the race, but I think has a realistic chance to get the award as well. So let's start with Offensive Rookie of the Year. Decent class for rookies. It's better than 2022 and 2023 in terms of the offensive side, but it's not as good as 2024. My pick is Ashton Jeanty, super talented running back, and this is usually a quarterback award, although the quarterback class is not that strong this year. So I do think if Cam Ward struggles, they're going to lean towards a running back, and I think Ashton Jeanty is the very safe pick. My dark horse candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year is Emeka Egbuka. He's been lighting up training camp. He has an elite level quarterback with Baker Mayfield. He has guys around him that can help him get open, like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They're going to take a lot of attention, so Emeka has a realistic chance to go for 1,000 yards, maybe get close to 10 touchdowns, and that'd be a really good rookie year for him. And who knows, maybe he can even get into the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation, like I think he can. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I have it going to Abdul Carter. He's just flat out the best defensive player in this draft class. I know some people are saying Travis Hunter. I think because he'll be used on offense to a degree, it's going to make his defense just ever so slightly worse. I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I think he'll be great next season with Jacksonville at whatever he plays. I just think Abdul Carter is a guarantee for 10 plus sacks and for 50 plus tackles, and you don't really get rookies like that anymore. So I'm gonna say Abdul Carter for my prediction. But my dark horse for Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to be Nick Scotton on the Panthers. Second round pick, I think it was like 47 overall. Not seeing a lot of people talk about him, but he was a beast coming out of Texas A&M, and I really like his odds to stack up sacks, because that Carolina D-line is not that great. They're not going to get to the quarterback a lot, so that gives Nick Scotton a chance to really pile up some sacks. Him and Derek Brown will be a very nice duo for Carolina next season. Comeback Player of the Year, I'm putting into consideration the fact that this is a quarterback award. I would like to give it to Aiden Hutchinson, and there's a decent chance they will. I have it going to Dak Prescott. He was injured for most of last year, and if he even does remotely as good as what he did in 2023, he gets to 4,000 yards, I should say, gets 30 touchdowns, 35 touchdowns, and wins 9-10 games, sneaks into the playoffs, they'll give it to him. It's just hard to not give awards to America's team. You want to promote them. You want everyone to know that they're the big dogs. And I think Dak Prescott will bounce back pretty nicely now that he has another good receiver in George Pickens. But my dark horse, and this one's kind of a crazy pick, if he gets the start, Daniel Jones. I think he has better weapons than what he ever had in New York. I know Malik Nabers and Saquon Barkley were two of some of the best offensive players in the league. But besides that, he had like no supporting cast in sight. And so now he's got Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren. He has Josh Downs, Mo Ali Cox. You know, this is a pretty deep position group in Indianapolis. And if Anthony Richardson doesn't get the starting job, watch for Daniel Jones to have a Sam Darnold-like season. I don't think he'll be that good if he plays, but I think there's a decent chance if a lot of guys coming back from injury struggle that they could give it to him. Coach of the Year, look, as a Bears fan, there's going to be some bias, but I genuinely do believe it's going to go to Ben Johnson. I think he's cooking up something that we don't see very often on NFL teams, being super critical, but in a good way, helping the team improve. And so I think he will get it done. I think they'll get the Bears to 9-10 wins. And that's what a Coach of the Year is. Saves a bad team, makes them better, gets them close or if not into the playoffs. But my dark horse for Coach of the Year is Liam Cohen. I really do like Liam Cohen. as a coach. I think he's a very good offensive coordinator. I think it'll take a few weeks for him to get settled in, kind of like what happened with Dave Canales, the other Tampa Bay Bucks OC turned into head coach. And so I think it will take him some time. But once he gets adjusted to this group of playmakers like Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., you have a two-way running back room with Travis Etienne, not to mention Tank Bigsby. Brenton Strange is their supposed tight end of the future. And so you have some weapons, not to mention Trevor Lawrence and his talent still left to be desired as a quarterback. So if Liam Cohen can go and cook something that we haven't seen this Jacksonville offense do yet, I think he has a chance to be Coach of the Year. Now we have Lineman of the Year. This is actually a new award the NFL added just this past offseason. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins the first ever Lineman of the Year. I have it going to Penei Sewell. The Lions are almost guaranteed to get some sort of award representation in this race this season. I think it will go to Penei Sewell. They want to give their line some love. He's one of the most popular linemen in the league. Not to mention, he's just one of the best, if not the best. But my dark horse is Tristan Wirfs. If the Bucks' run game continues to get better, I think that's not only because of Bucky Irving, that's also because of Tristan Wirfs. And you'll notice a theme that I really am high on teams like the Bucks this season. Just teams that I have a lot of faith in their quarterback. And I think Tristan Wirfs is really the key cog in terms of making this Tampa Bay offense run, function, and overall make it a more enjoyable experience for whoever is behind center. Now we're getting to the juicy stuff. 3 awards left. We have the Defensive Player of the Year. Now, a lot of people are pretty divisive on this topic. People are saying Myles Garrett. People are saying TJ Watt, Patrick Surtain back to back. I could see all those happening, but I have it going to Micah Parsons, especially with this contract situation. If he ends up not getting a contract and still plays for Dallas this season, I think he's going to go on a run. He's going to go for 20 plus sacks. He's going to go and be the leading tackler. He's going to go and just do it all, get multiple interceptions. He's going to want to prove to Jerry Jones that he deserves almost $50 million a year, because Jerry does not want to pay the $40 million, or maybe even a little bit less. I don't know if it's $42 million a year that he wants, but Jerry is not paying it, and so he's going to go and play like he deserves $50 for next offseason, and whoever will pay that will pay that. But my dark horse is Jalen Johnson, cornerback on the Bears. Look, they don't really give it to cornerbacks too often. I was surprised they gave it to PS2. It was my prediction, but I honestly thought they'd give it to Trey Hendrickson because of the fact he was the only good player on the Bengals defense and he led the league in sacks. But now that they're reopening, giving this award to corners, a guy like Jalen Johnson, who is in a way better defensive scheme now with Dennis Allen, and I get Matt Eberflus's defensive scheme was pretty good, but Dennis Allen is one of the best defensive guys in the league, and so Jalen Johnson, I think, is going to have a huge bounce back season and be in talks, not only as one of the best cornerbacks in the league, but as a guy that can compete for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, I have it going to Ja'Marr Chase. It's really hard to argue anyone else. If Saquon didn't become Barry Sanders for a season, Ja'Marr Chase would have pretty easily walked away with this award. I guess Derrick Henry, but Ja'Marr Chase would have been the second guy behind Saquon. And so now that Saquon got his, I doubt they'd give it to him back to back unless he did something earth-shattering. And so I do think Ja'Marr Chase gets his first Opoi this year. But my dark horse is Nico Collins. I think with a healthy CJ Stroud, a questionable but it should be healthy Texans O-line, not to mention you have a two-way running back by committee that can help free up some room in the passing game. Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb together is an insane duo. But anyway, the point is that, because of that running duo, it's going to take up some space. The defense is going to focus on that. And then, boom, Nico Collins can go and play even better than the receiver he was 2 years ago. A little bit of a down year last year, but still was on pace to be a top 5 receiver. maybe even top 3. I think he's top 10 right now. I don't think he's top 5 yet, but if he's having the season I think he can have, then he'll for sure be in those top 5, top 3 conversations. Now, here it is, the MVP, and I think I'm going to give my dark horse first before I give my actual winner. My dark horse is going to be Baker Mayfield. Yes, I'm really high on the Bucks. It might be Bucks glaze. It's not, because I am a Bears fan, but I want to see the Bucks do well. I think Baker Mayfield has put up really good stats these past 2 seasons, and he's going to continue to do so. He has more receiving help now than he's ever had with Ime Egbuka added to the offense. You have a 2-way running back committee with Bucky Irving and Rachaad White. You have Mike Evans still in his prime. You have Chris Godwin, who is returning from injury, so that could be a question mark. But there still is plenty of receivers on this team, plenty of playmakers. Not to mention Jalen McMillan, who I feel like he's just kind of went under the rug as a guy that could go and get you 600 yards, 5 touchdowns as a nice, I guess, slot receiver you can call him. I don't think he's a slot receiver, but if you want to put him there, you can. And so Baker's my dark horse, but my MVP, I narrowed it down to a few different options, but I do think it's going to go to Joe Burrow. I have Ja'Marr Chase winning the Offensive Player of the Year, and then I got Joe Burrow winning the MVP. The Bengals duo getting it done. Joe Burrow is bound to win one at some point, right? If his defense can just lock in a little bit more, and if the Bengals made the playoffs last year, Joe Burrow would have won the MVP. And so the defense just needs to lock in a little bit more, and then we can get a playoff Joe Burrow once again. And he would probably be the MVP because he'd put up close to 5,000 yards, would put up probably over 40 touchdowns, maybe even get close to 50, and could also get in a couple touchdowns on the ground, maybe a couple hundred yards on the ground. I know people want to say Lamar, people want to say Josh Allen, maybe even Mahomes, Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud. Those are all decent options. But I just think Joe Burrow, he's waiting to get his first. You know, he's going to be on a mission this year, and he wants to join the Lamar, Josh Allen, Mahomes club because he is that level of quarterback, and he's going to go prove it this season. But these are just my takes and my takes only. If you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments section down below. I'll be free to debate and talk with people in the comments, so feel free, let me know how you feel. But make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, make sure you turn on that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I upload these awesome NFL content videos. We're so close to the NFL season, I cannot wait. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.